The three most important Social Security, SSDI, and SSI bills to raise benefits. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I do want to talk about the most important Social Security, SSDI, and SSI bills currently in Congress that would raise benefits for millions upon millions of beneficiaries. Now, to be fair, over the last year or so, we've seen a ton of different proposals coming out that would raise benefits, that would reform these programs and change all of these different provisions in a major way. However, most of them are no good at all, but there are three that really stand out and that would raise benefits and reform these programs in a really good way for millions upon millions of beneficiaries, and that's what I want to talk about here in the video. So let's get into it and talk about what's going on. However, really fast before we do, let me ask you a quick question. Are you sick and tired of all the scammers? How about your phone ringing constantly each and every day with the robocalls or the guy telling you your computer is broken or threatening he's going to turn off your electricity? Well, exactly. I think we can all probably agree we're sick and tired of it, which is exactly why I partner with the sponsor right here on the channel, Aura, and exactly why they're giving all of you an exclusive 14-day free trial with the exclusive link right down below this video in the description or pinned at the top of the comment section. I will have it there as well. I signed up about 6 weeks ago, and when I did, they found 30 different places my personal information had been exposed on the dark web, and they went to work immediately helping me clean all of that up and making sure that the broken computer guy didn't continue to call me or all these robocalls, or that my personal information didn't continue to be exposed on the dark web. And they'll do the exact same thing for you as well with that exclusive link right down below. So again, they're giving all of you right here in the community this exclusive 14-day free trial so you can try them out. And like I said, they will go to work immediately for you, cleaning up all your personal information and showing you exactly where all your information has been exposed already on the dark web. You'll be completely shocked. I was completely shocked when they gave me a list of 30 different places. I literally could not believe it. I had no clue that my personal information was exposed that much on the dark web. Honestly, I was not a fan, didn't like it at all, and why I had them go to work helping me clean all that up. So again, make sure to check out that link right down below the video in the description or at the top of the comment section, completely free for 14 days. You can try them out there. If you don't like it, doesn't really matter, doesn't matter at all, which is exactly why they're giving you that 14 days. So check out the link down below in the description or at the top of the comment section for your 14 days for free. And again, like I said, you will be completely shocked when you see that big list of all the places your information is already out there, basically in the hands of the scammers. Not cool, right? Anyway, check them out. And again, huge thanks to the sponsor here on the channel, Aura, for that exclusive 14 days for all of you here in the community. All right, so let's get into it and talk about these three bills that I do want to highlight here as far as what has been introduced and what these would actually do for beneficiaries. Now, here's the thing. I could literally sit here for probably, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 hours talking about all the different bills, packages, and proposals that have been introduced over the last year or so. Not even the last year, probably the last 9 months or so that have been introduced here to change Social Security, to raise SSDI benefits, to reform SSI, to raise SSI benefits, to increase solvency for Social Security, to reduce taxes on Social Security. Again, the list goes on, to push out the full retirement age, to start a new sovereign trust or sovereign investment fund for Social Security. I mean, literally, there's tons of them that are out there. Most of them, honestly, are no good at all. They're not good at all. But there are three that really stand out from the bunch, just like always, right? It's virtually like with anything out there, right? You see a lot of different things that pop up, and as a result of that, most no good at all. Some are decent, and a couple are really good. Well, that's what I want to focus on here in this video. So I don't want to talk through a ton of the different details on this piece of legislation, but I do want to buzz through the main highlights of them and talk about why these ones stand out from the rest of the bunch and why these ones are so good and why these ones actually have the best chances of actually becoming law in Congress, okay? Number one, I talked about this one just a few days ago, which was the Social Security 2100, okay? Now, this was actually originally introduced a number of years ago, and a new iteration was introduced about, I'm going to say a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago now, a new iteration called the Social Security 2100, a sacred trust. Now, this one was introduced by Representative John Larson, obviously, in the House of Representatives, right? Now, here's the thing. This one has a bunch of different provisions in it. It would increase the minimum benefit for about 5 million low-income beneficiaries up to 125% of the federal poverty line. It would change the way that the COLA is calculated from the CPIW to the CPIE, boosting benefits a little bit more each and every year. It would also remove the 5-month waiting period for SSDI beneficiaries. That's a huge one. For SSDI beneficiaries, that's huge. Like, seriously, that is big, big stuff right there. Because 5 months that they make you wait as an SSDI beneficiary before you can get any checks at all. Well, is your disability going away during that time? I don't think so, right? So again, that's a tough one out there, the 5-month waiting period. I've talked about that before here on the channel, and I will bring more dedicated videos talking about that as well. But again, there's a lot of really good stuff in there, and this would also push out insolvency with Social Security. The only downfall of the Social Security 2100 is these provisions start to sunset after 5 years. So it's kind of like 5 years of really good party times, and then it's like, well, they start to go away after that. So that is one of the major downfalls of the Social Security 2100. Next, the Social Security Expansion Act. This is a good one as well. This was introduced about a year ago. Actually, not even quite a year ago. It was introduced about 10, 11 months or so ago from Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and some other Democratic senators who introduced this as, this is the infamous bill that increases benefits by $200 a month or $2,400 a year for Social Security. That's a pretty cool one right there as well. Not only that, it pushes out insolvency for Social Security out until the end of the century. So about 74 years from right now is how long this would push insolvency out to. So essentially the end of the century. It would also change the way that the COLA is calculated from the CPIW to the CPIE, again, boosting benefits a little bit more each and every year. So these are some of the details. Of course, as well, it would also raise taxes on higher income individuals. I don't think that's a huge aspect of many people here in this community, but that is also something as well. So this is another really good one out there, and this one certainly stands out from the bunch. Bernie Sanders has had private meetings with the president talking about this, getting the president on board with this. There's been a lot of talk about this, and Bernie Sanders is a huge advocate of this bill. Again, he's one that actually came up with it. So, I mean, obviously he's going to be a huge advocate of it. He's a huge fan of it, right? So this one also is very promising out there, and I wanted to bring this to your attention as well. Now, next is the SSI Restoration Act. Now, this one is specifically focused on SSI, Supplemental Security Income. Now, if you're an SSI beneficiary, you know what I'm talking about here, right? This program, it's a good one, but this program is very, very out of date, okay? This one is like, well, it's really out of date, okay? I was going to give you kind of a funny analogy. I probably really shouldn't say it. I was going to say it's like wallpaper. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that super cool back in the day, but today, well, wallpaper, it's maybe a little bit out of date. You know what I mean? So, kind of the same thing. Sorry, Mom. My mom loves wallpaper. Just saying, okay? Don't get me wrong. Wallpaper's awesome stuff. It's just a little bit out of date. That's all I'm saying, okay? It's not a bad thing. Wallpaper's great. It's pretty nice stuff, but again, it's a little bit out of date as far as right now anyway. It may come back into style someday, but as of right now, it's the same thing with the SSI program, okay? It was formed way back in the early 70s, and as a result of this program, it needs to be reformed majorly. Here's the thing. As of right now in 2023, SSI benefits are $914 a month. That's the maximum. Now, again, you've heard me talk about this before in other videos. The federal poverty line right now in 2023 is $14,590 a year, or $1,215 a month is the federal poverty line. That means that SSI benefits, the maximum benefit, is over $300 below the federal poverty line on a monthly basis. So the SSI Restoration Act would, number one, boost benefits up to the federal poverty line for about 8 million beneficiaries relying on SSI every single month. Not only that, it would remove the very much out-of-date marriage penalty as well. That's a bad one that's still in there. For some weird reason, the marriage penalty is still in there, but that's still around, and that would be removed as well as a result of the SSI Restoration Act. Next, they also want to increase possession limits for SSI beneficiaries. As you know, as an SSI individual, you can have up to $2,000 as an individual or $3,000 in your possession as a married couple. Well, let's ask what's going on here. Since early 2020, when all of this, weird stuff started going down with COVID and things like this, the lockdowns and all that business like this, does $2,000 get you a whole lot anymore? Not really. Prior to 2020, it got you a decent amount. $2,000, $3,000, it was a decent amount of money. Today, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discount $2,000 or $3,000. It's still a lot of money, but my point is, it doesn't get you much anymore, right? For the goods and services that you can buy for $2,000 to $3,000 is very limited compared to what it was, say, 3.5 years ago. It's very much limited, right? So as a result of this very high inflationary time that we've been living through for the last couple of years now, as a result of that, prices have increased, and $2,000 to $3,000 in savings for an SSI beneficiary just doesn't get you by for very long anymore versus what it did a few years ago. Well, the SSI Restoration Act would do that exactly. It would raise the possession limits from $2,000 as an individual to $10,000, and from $3,000 as a married couple up to $20,000 as a married couple. So you can clearly see these are some of the provisions within these three pieces of legislation that are currently out there right now, and why these would be so incredibly important and change the lives of literally millions upon millions of people. Tens of millions of people is what I really should say, because these would increase benefits, it would raise benefits, it'd do all kinds of different things, and all of these programs here do exactly that. Raise benefits, they adjust the COLA, they do all kinds of other provisions like that to raise benefits and to make sure the beneficiaries are better off financially on a monthly basis. Pretty good stuff. So with all the different bills, packages, and proposals that have been introduced here over the last couple of years, and especially the last year or so, these are the three that stand out the most above and beyond the rest. And these ones, in my honest opinion, in the event that Congress has anything to do with raising these benefits, reforming these programs, I would always turn to these three. These ones, in my honest opinion, have the best chances of becoming anything over the next, months, year, whatever it happens to be when Congress does move forward to do something about these. Anyway, I want to bring these to your attention really quickly. These are the ones that I'm watching, as well as everything else going on out there. There's a lot of things that are changing very quickly. So please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, have a good one, and catch you again later in the next video. And of course, make sure to check out those links down below in the description, and of course at the top of the comment section for your free 14-day trial with the sponsor here on the channel, Aura, and they will go to work immediately pointing out exactly where your personal information has already been exposed on the dark web. You'll be shocked. I was shocked. Still am shocked. Anyway, enjoy. Have a good one, and catch you again later.